What does football legend and club boss Jomo Sono and burns and wounds healing have in common? Well, as of yesterday, more than you can think, Sono's company were behind the first Mega-Biotech Annual Symposium on Innovation Methodologies, wound healing and management of burns. Up to 50 specialists, surgeons and partners attended the event, which was addressed by Dr. Peries of Sri Lanka, who shared some innovative methodologies around healing wounds. They join us this morning in our studios here in Johannesburg to take further this conversation. Good morning to both of you and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming through. Now, Dr. Sono, let's start with you. Why the interest in wounds and healing?
No, the interest came from when I retired. I discovered that I'm sugar diabetic, and I spent some time at the clinic, and I started doing a research, on diabetic and so forth. And I went to the townships and I saw that a lot of our people had diabetic, but they don't know. Yeah. They're just walking with diabetic around.
As they say, it's a silent killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I developed an interest, and, on a joking note, I said to myself, my feet have scored so many goals. And why, when one day I have a wound, my leg will be cut. So I got scared that, these 2 feet made me what I am. So fortunately, I met a friend of mine.
Yeah. A very good friend of yours, I take.
Very good friend, very good friend. And we discussed, and it took from there. I had a big interest. Yeah. And I went to see Sam in Sri Lanka, and I saw his clinic, and I was fascinated.
All right, let's talk about your clinic, Dr. Peries. Share with us some of the new methodologies that you use.
Okay. Now, what the methodology we use is not a new one. Okay. Megatherapy, using medical grade maggots, has been something that has been done for years. But the innovation that we've developed is marrying this as a basic technology with many other new technologies to make a collective synergistic effect to achieve wound healing at the fastest possible time with the minimum cost to the patient and to the state.
Sure. And how do you do that?
Okay. Now, what we do is we use medical grade maggots for wound debridement. The next alternative that we have is surgical debridement, which involves theaters, nurses, and support staff. Now, here it can be done as an OPD procedure, which cuts out all that requirement. Then after that, we support it with many other products for the next phase, which is granulation, and the final phase, which is epithelialization, to close up the wound. So with this, we make wound healing in record time, complete closure, and prevent amputations and reduce the cost burden on the patient and the state.
Sure, that's incredible. And how long is, the quick time that you've just referred to for the wound to properly heal? Because we do know that with diabetic people, it can take forever.
Yes. Well, from our experience, the oldest wound that we have healed in Sri Lanka, the patient carried the wound for 28 years.
Sure.
And we completely closed the wound in about 60 days.
That's like 2 months.
2 months for complete closure.
At a very affordable price.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's incredible. But Dr. Sono, how was the feedback and the response that you got yesterday?
The feedback was unbelievable. Yeah. A lot of people were surprised at his presentation, and a lot of people are encouraging us to go ahead and start something here in South Africa, which will also benefit the whole of Africa.
Yeah, because I wanted to say so that it looks like it's good news for a whole lot of people here in South Africa. For the fact that you're able to get people back to work in such a short period of time, it's quite an achievement.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also coming from that, it's not only getting the people back to work in the shortest possible time, but it's also the fact that if we have an amputee, that person becomes a burden on the family and the state and the economy.
Yeah, so they become too dependent on
Absolutely,
the state. Yeah.
Yes.
So Perhaps after the presentation yesterday, what's your view? Are we likely to see you more often here in South Africa?
Yes, in fact, we are now going into the implementation phase already.
Okay.
And with Dr. Jomo, who's here, we are going to set up the first clinic in the fastest possible time, so that the patient can have a tangible solution to be associated with.
But if we are to look back at Sri Lanka, it's usually said that a lot of people are diabetic and yet they're not aware. Is it really a problem that you come across with that side as well?
Yes, we come across a lot of diabetics in Sri Lanka, but of course we have the medical structure that takes care of the diabetes. But when it comes to the wounds, we have a challenge.
Yeah.
But now that's what since 2009, what we've developed has helped mitigate that challenge to a great extent.
Dr. Sono, what do you hope for? I mean, surely if you bring such a clinic here, you would need sponsors, you would need funding, you would need a whole lot of support. What do you wish for?
My wish is to see our people being helped, because there's nothing that is painful seeing a person's limb, as hand or leg being cut off, when we know that there is a solution. So mine is to make sure that the people get their medication, get healed, and start working properly.
All right, no, that's where we're going to leave it. But I know that I was just on a lighter note joking to you before the conversation, saying that hopefully you can find something for fractured ankles as well, so that I can get back to my stiletto soonest.
Hopefully, yes, hopefully.
Well, thank you so much. Well, there you have it. We are speaking to Dr. Sam Peries from Sri Lanka, as well as one of our football legends, a club boss, Ntate Jomo Sono, talking to us about this discovery. We are certainly looking forward to the new clinic that they will have here in South Africa to heal wounds completely. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Leanne is standing by with the latest in news.